Okay, so what we're setting up here is we have our cable machine and an incline bench. So my mom's crawling into position. So what we're setting up here is called a Cobra Row. I learned of these from a coach named Josh Bryant. So if you look up Jailhouse Strong or Josh Bryant on YouTube, the guy knows an infinite amount of stuff. He helps strength athletes and bodybuilders, as well as regular athletes. So what the idea of this, we're doing this today for, is my mom has had some shoulder issues from one side to the other in terms of getting proper back tightness. So we're using this as unilateral, which is one arm at a time. We're using this as an exercise to expose the lats and expose these muscles right here on the inside edge of the shoulder blade. So we're trying to get her to learn to squeeze through here and then finish through that. So she starts the rep by driving from here, squeeze, then finish with the squeeze there. And then what we're going to do is she does the same thing on the other side, and this gives her a chance to compare how the muscles feel. So we'll let her do her little dance to get to the other side. So the left side is our quote-unquote healthy side. The right side here with the badass tattoos is our annoyed side. So now she's going to try to get a couple reps in where she drives from there and finishes with the lat. So again, she stretches everything, she drives from here, then finishes with the lat. Good. So this is the first exercise in kind of a 3 exercise sequence we're using. And all of these are unilateral, which means one arm at a time. And again, that's for us to identify what the differences are from side to side. So if you make the arms move independently of each other, make sure you get a good stretch there. So drive and squeeze, good. If you make the arms move independently of each other, then it exposes their weaknesses. So if you grab, like, say, you're doing barbell bent over rows, and the back moves slightly different one side or the other, you're not going to be able to notice because the strong side can kind of hold a little bit of the weight from the weak side. There's ways for the body to compensate from side to side. So very good. Drive from there and squeeze. Excellent. So by us exposing them individually, so she's going to go ahead and throw that cable back up there, and then we're going to move on to our one-arm lat pull-downs. So sorry for the dark stuff here, but the brightness outside makes it kind of hard. So we have our plate-loaded lat pull-down machine here, so it gives you a full picture of it. So she's sitting sideways on it, and she's letting the shoulder lift, driving the shoulder down and squeezing the lat. So we're repeating pretty much the same stuff, but the idea is it's a little bit of a different angle, a little bit of a different stimulus with a solid machine that moves in a singular pathway. So it's just going to always move in that pathway. So versus the cable where she can have more leeway to move around and compensate. So you can see again she's getting a really good stretch and drive and squeeze. So stretch, drive, and squeeze. So we're teaching her to use the inside edge of her shoulder blade as a driver for the first part of a back movement. And this is going to translate to better positioning, better positioning in terms of a full squeeze, and better tightness in terms of being able to hold the squeeze when we go to our squat, bench, and even the deadlift, in the sense of not letting the upper back round too far. So now she's going to switch sides. So we're mostly doing this for her squat and bench. So it's going to have good carryover to the deadlift though. And also this is just good general healthy postural stuff. So as we all age in life, we don't want to turn into a question mark. So this helps us stay more upright by having all of our muscles fully functional and understanding our movement mechanics to know that we're not overcompensating with a strong muscle and allowing a weaker muscle to keep getting weak. So if we keep all the muscles involved, they're all going to be strong and they're all going to contribute to our positioning later in life. So again, she's doing a real good job getting a good squeeze down on this. And the whole motion of this is allowing that shoulder to kind of raise up and drive and squeeze. So you can see how much of a stretch we're getting in these tissues. Drive and squeeze. So, and we've been doing this for a couple rounds already, so she's doing an excellent job, but there's definitely going to start to be fatigue going on. So our general goal on this is we're using weights that she's doing for 10 to 15 reps on some of these exercises, except for the last one. But she actually could probably get 20 if she wanted. So we're stopping short of all-out failure to ensure that we stay with good form throughout all the movements. So she's going to come over now to our seated cable row. And what we're doing now is we're doing one-arm eccentrics. So she's using a dual handle, like a dual, allows you to use both hands basically. She's going to pull back with both hands. She's going to lock her lat and tightness in over here. Then she's going to slowly release these muscles against the pressure of that cable. Good. So what this is allowing her is when she pulls back, she's going to transfer this side now, so we're alternating the reps. When she pulls back and then goes to accept the weight into only one hand, so two hands, then she accepts into one, that's going to allow her to feel her back tightness. So we're pulling back a weight that's heavier than she could normally pull back with only one arm. So that heaviness doing the eccentric, the stretch part, is allowing her to feel what back tightness should feel like. So she's going back and forth, rep to rep, and we're just letting those back muscles work against that weight to build our mind-muscle connection with them and to see if there's any discrepancies from one side to the other. So by putting together programming like this, we do this one time a week on her upper body days. So this is kind of our back assistance work for bench press. So, and we go a lot of rounds and we try to progress a little bit in weight sets or reps or reduce rest periods every single week. The goal is as she gets better at these things, the muscles that they address will continue to get stronger and even a little bigger. So muscle size definitely helps with strength later on. So we want to have a little bit of both. Okay, so hopefully this stuff is helpful. So this is how one of the methods to use accessory lifts for healing and correcting shoulder discrepancies or back tightness discrepancies from one side to the other. Cool.